Hey there, my friend. Just wanted to explain a little bit about what recently came up for me and what came up with somebody I was working with was that there's this angst feeling, and I guess to explain that angst feeling, I'll tell you a little bit of a story. And so when I was starting a couple of companies in the past, I I honestly did not want my inner circle and my closest friends to see what it was that I was doing. I didn't want anybody to know my truth. I didn't want to bring to the world this thing because it wasn't ultimately me. It was. So let me give you an example. I've started an online internship review platform that enabled students to see, with a buddy of mine, enabled students to see the ideal direction for them to take their life, right? Like reviews of other internships, because I hated my job. And so I thought the answer was to start this company. We got into a tech accelerator program, and ultimately the business model changed so that it was further away from the initial reason I started it, which was to empower students to live the life of their dreams, and got closer to just what made money. So we funneled students to startups. And then when I moved out of that, because my angst feeling inside of me, like I was just kind of like hesitating with moving forward, I realized that I needed to make a change. I didn't know what this hesitation was telling me. I just knew that I had to change, do something different. So I actually unconsciously continued the same pattern and moved into another company, an online, or excuse me, a real estate investment company. And so I started trying to flip houses and wholesale houses and do all this stuff. And I would market like till the cows came home externally, but I didn't post a doggone thing on social media about what I was doing because I was hesitating to do so. I didn't want the universe to see, or at least my local universe of people around me to see what I was doing, because I didn't feel like I was worthy enough to show them. I felt like I was doing them a disservice. And then I jumped into a corporate job thinking that, okay, maybe I need a little bit of stability but still want to make a lot of money. And then finally, like after trying and trying and trying through so many different entrepreneurial ventures, what I explored, what I found in myself, was that I wasn't going to go full throttle in anything that wasn't really me, right? Wasn't really connected to my soul, to who I am as a being, as a piece of the universe emanating through a physical meat sack, right? And I looked back and realized everything else I had ever done never worked out because I never gave a shit enough on the deepest level, because it wasn't me. And there was always something that was a hesitation that was holding me back, that was stopping me. And it wasn't because I was scared. It wasn't because I wasn't good enough. It was because it was the universe telling me through hesitation that I was doing the wrong thing because I wasn't connected deep enough to who I am, right? Think about it from the universe's perspective. If you were like this universal source energy, and you had all of these human puppets that you were moving around, but they were all unconscious of you, and you can't speak physical words, you can only generate feelings. If you wanted to be realized and fully actualized in all of these human puppets on each of your universe fingers, how would you do it, right? Well, you can't talk. You can't just like write letters to them in the sky. So what you have to do is you have to give them feelings. And so when we live in these individual meat sacks and we aren't fully aware that we are the cosmos, that each one of us are God, then we misunderstand these feelings and these emotions, and we think hesitation, like, oh man, I need to just do it. And so here in the Western society, we have this mentality of needing to sprint towards your goals, set intentions, and just grind and do the right thing and just do anyways. And there's an element of that that's true, that personal development like nails. There's an element of personal development that is correct, that you need to just have motivation and blah. But you need to be plugged into who you really are before you start to energize that. Before you start to take major leaps and steps and bounds in any direction, plug into your soul. Plug into what you really feel. Ask yourself 100 questions a day on what life is, who I am, why I'm here, why I give a shit about anything. And then once you start to explore more about the answers to those questions, or at least the feelings of those questions, you are starting to get more in alignment with what the universe is trying to bring through you. Because it's the feeling that you want to bring to other people. Ultimately, business is just like religion. We've created this huge structures, these infrastructures, where what we're really trying to do is transact love in business. right? Why else would we conduct any sort of business? We want to deliver food or keep people healthy or enable people to make more money. What's at the end of all of that is a transaction of love. We call it value, and then there's misunderstandings around it. And then we have these huge empires of self-actual, or of like prison, basically, that we call corporations. But what we're really trying to do is transact love. Religion is no different. It's just a different means. Religion is just trying to make transactions of love, but we do so with so many rules and another hierarchy and all these laws and beliefs and what you should and shouldn't do. And in both situations, what we really yearn for is a connection to source, is a connection to truth. Just remember who you are and help other people remember who they are, because it is freaking blissful. It is freaking amazing when you're connected to that place. And that's why I do everything I do, is to bring people deeper to an understanding of who they really are. And if you're in that situation where it's like, I know I want to make a change, I think I want to do that, but I just don't want to invite any of my friends to that page, well, then it's probably because it's not really you. I've been there. It wasn't me. Or if you're finding yourself not being able to be motivated to do a certain thing, right? Not so much to like love yourself. Like that does just require more energy to continue to love yourself and continue looking into your shadows. But in any external facing activity, if you're experiencing a lot of like hesitation and there's not like this hell yeah feeling all the time in you, then you're not plugged all the way in. So ask yourself a bunch more questions and get deeper to your truth, because ultimately people are stuck in the empire of corporations and the empires of religion, and all they freaking want is truth and authentic human connection, and knowing that they can connect through other people with the part of us that is the same, that universe that's trying to awaken through this like schizophrenic puppet that all of us start out being. So give that a really deep thought and start to ask yourself a whole bunch of questions about who you really are, why you're really here, what you're really here to give. And if you're experiencing a lot of friction and if you have to constantly motivate yourself to do the thing that you're trying to do, whatever it is, you're probably just unplugged. So plug yourself in. Give yourself a lot of time every morning, as much time as you possibly can, to just plug in and listen to what the universe is telling you through feeling, because it cannot speak. People who are in the empires of corporations and religions can talk to you. And if you're only identified with hearing and thinking and hearing and thinking and doing from hearing and thinking, you're never going to hear what the universe is trying to tell you. And if the poor bastard had a voice, it would use it, but it doesn't. So just give the universe some space, man. Meditate for a long time and hear what has to be said, because there's gorgeous things to be said. So if this is resourceful to you, or if you know anybody who can be served by this message, or if you resonate with this message and you're just assuming there's other people out there, please share this video, because this is what I love bringing to the world, and it needs to be brought, because this is awakening. This is global enlightenment. This is purpose happening on Earth. This is kind of like what all the old scriptures talked about, of a new earth and an awakening and heaven on earth and all this stuff. It's just waking up and unplugging from the bullshit so that we could plug into truth. So give that a shot. If this is resourceful to you, make sure you like it. Let me know. Reach out to me if it's exciting in any specific way. If you've got truth to bring to the world and you're terrified on how to bring it, if you got all these goals that you set, your New Year's resolutions or whatever, and they're not happening, it's because the universe is trying to tell you something. And I specialize in seeing through that bullshit. So reach out to me. It could be way easier than you think. Take care, my friend. Have a great weekend.